Hello, everyone. Well, are you ready for our very last Magic Treehouse book of the year? It is book number 33 called Narwhal on a Sunny Night. And I thought it was neat because I think narwhals are interesting animals. So I can't wait to see what happens. Chapter 1 is called Greenland. Jack and Annie sat on their porch in the warm summer twilight. Jack was reading a library book called Amazing Facts. Get this, he said, a beehive can have as many as 60 million bees in it. Is that all? Annie asked. Ha, said Jack. Okay, then get this, he read. Some experts say there might be 10 billion trillion stars in the universe. Wrong, said Annie. In fact, there are 10 billion trillion and 73 stars. Jack laughed. They both looked up at the dark blue sky. The first stars were coming out. Seriously? 10 billion trillion? Said Annie. I can't even imagine it. She stood up. Hey, do you see that? What? Said Jack. That little cloud, said Annie. Where? Said Jack. Over the treetops. Oh man, whispered Jack. He saw it too. A small, brightly glowing cloud over the Frog Creek woods. We better check it out, said Annie. Jack put his book on a porch chair. Mom, Dad, he called through the screen door. We'll be back soon. Only 15 minutes, her dad called. We are going to watch a movie together. Great, called Jack. He grabbed his backpack and then turned to Annie. Hurry, let's go. And there they are on their porch. And you can see that mysterious cloud that they see. And you can even see the book down here called Amazing Facts. Jack and Annie dashed down the porch steps, and they tore across their yard and headed up to the sidewalk. When they came to the Frog Creek woods, they crossed the street and hurried between the trees. The darkening woods were filled with the sounds of crickets and frogs. The air smelled of warm green leaves and wood and earth. Soon Jack and Annie came to the tallest oak. Hooray, said Annie. The magic treehouse was back. It was shimmering against the evening sky. Yes, said Jack. He grabbed the rope ladder and started up, and Annie followed. They climbed into the treehouse. Look, said Jack. In the last light of day, he saw a book on the floor. And he grabbed the book and he read the title on the plain green cover. Narwhal on a Sunny Night. That was the title of the book, our book. The title of their book is called Greenland, the world's largest island. Greenland, said Annie. That sounds nice. Yeah, our teacher told us about Greenland, said Jack. But I don't really remember what he said. Open the book, said Annie. So Jack opened the book. He found a map in the pocket on the inside cover, and he took it out and unfolded it. Everything was black and white except for Greenland. The huge island was colored green. Greenland sounds so beautiful, said Annie. Like it's filled with green grass and green trees. Don't be fooled. It can't be very green, said Jack. Why not? Because look. With Jack's finger, he traced a circle on the map. That's the Arctic Circle right there. The circle is most of Greenland, Norway, Iceland, and parts of Canada and Russia. It's one of the coldest regions in the world. Oh, well then why would that island be called Greenland? Asked Annie. Jack shrugged. I don't know. And why are we going there? Do you see anything from Morgan? They looked around the treehouse again. Oh, here, said Annie, and she picked up a small piece of yellow paper. And she read aloud, on your next journey, you will land on the shore of an island with icebergs, reindeer, and more. On a day that seems endless with no dark of night, travel through fog, travel through light. Explore different worlds. Show friends where to go. Unite all these worlds with the word that will glow. No dark of night, said Jack. What does that mean? I don't know, said Annie. And what about unite all these worlds with a word that will glow? Yeah, what word? Sounds really cold too, with icebergs and reindeer. Yeah, but that could be fun, said Annie. We can handle cold. Remember when we took our great trip to the Arctic a while ago? Oh, yeah, we wore those polar bear masks. Do you guys remember that book? Yeah, and we saved the baby bears. Oh, that was so fun, right? Yeah, that was fun. Okay, I guess we'll go back to the cold. So Annie pointed to the green island on the map. I wish we could go there, she said. Then the wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. Then it spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. And that takes us to chapter 2 called Ice Everywhere. Sunlight shone through the treehouse window. The sound of splashing water came from outside. Hey, it doesn't feel that cold, said Annie. Oh, maybe because we're wearing these heavy woolen clothes, said Jack. Their summer clothes had changed into wool outfits. Now they had on thick wool coats, wool shirts, wool caps, wool mittens, and wool pants. Even Jack's backpack had changed into a wool bag, and his notebook and pencil were inside. So here you can see on the cover there, wool outfits to stay nice and warm. You were right, said Annie, looking out the window. I don't see much green out there. Jack looked outside with her. The tree had landed on the rocky shore of Ocean Bay. Across the water were brown mountains with snow-white peaks. The air felt crisp and clean, and seagulls swooped low over the sparkling blue seawater. The sun shined on sheets of ice. You ready to go explore, said Annie. Yep, said Jack. Jack slipped their map back inside the Greenland book. He put the book and Morgan's rhyme in the wool bag. Then he and Annie climbed out of the window. They stepped onto a pebbly shore. Oh, man, there's ice everywhere, said Jack. The Ocean Bay was filled with ice. Small, flat icebergs were floating in the middle of the bay, and others were close to the shore. So here they are in the treehouse, and if you look at it, you can see all the icebergs in the water, all these little, like, chunks of ice here and here. That looks cold. The water must be freezing, said Annie. Jack took off a glove and dipped his hand in the seawater. Oh, he yelled, it is so cold it hurts. Jack dried his hand and then put his glove back on. Then he took out the Greenland book and he read aloud from the first page. For millions of years, Greenland has been mostly covered with ice. In the 21st century, experts worry that the world's climate is warming and that ice is melting. Scientists from different countries live at research stations in Greenland to study the effects of the climate change. Oh, now I remember what my teacher told us, said Jack. Melting ice in the Arctic can cause the sea levels to rise, and it could lead to a disaster. Oh, that's serious, said Annie. I hope we meet some scientists. Me too, said Jack. I wonder who else lives here. And he found a section in the book called People of Greenland, so he read from there. Experts believe that people first occupied Greenland about 4,500 years ago. Today, 56,000 people live on the island. Most of them are known as the Inuit. Inuit, said Annie, like the Inuit seal hunter that we met on our other Arctic trip. He was great. Yeah, I don't see any signs of Inuit people in this area, said Jack. He looked around the cold, barren landscape. Feels pretty lonely. Well, look at that, said Annie. She pointed to a small group of silver-gray creatures resting on an iceberg. I think those are seals, said Jack. Oh, they're so cute and little, said Annie. Jack found a chapter on seals in the book, and he read, Greenland has 3 kinds of ice seals. Ringed seals are the smallest. And there's a picture of the seals. Oh, okay, they must be ring seals, said Jack. Suddenly, the seals let out high-pitched barks. They spun their heads from side to side, and they slipped off the ice and disappeared into the water. I think we scared them, said Jack, and a swooshing sound came from across the bay. Not us, we didn't scare them. Look, it's a whale. A huge gray whale was skimming across the water. A sharp burst of air spurted out the blowhole on the top of its head. Whoa, said Jack. The whale leaped into the air, and then it crashed down with a giant splash as it dove back under the sea. A humpback, that's a humpback whale, said Annie. I saw the bump on its back. Humpback whales sing. They can sing a different song each year. Wow, how do you know that, said Jack. Oh, because I love whales. I did a research report on them, said Annie. Ooh, great, said Jack. So he looked up whales on the index of their book, and he found the right page to read aloud. Greenland's waters are filled with whales. 15 different kinds can be seen along its coast and its ocean inlets. They include humpback whales, orcas, narwhals, beluga whales. Wait, more whales, cried Annie. Look, there's a bunch more. I know, said Jack, not looking up from his book. He kept reading. Yeah, there's 15 kinds. Fin whales, blue whales. No, stop reading. I mean in real life. Look, Jack, look. Jack looked up, and he couldn't believe his eyes. About a dozen whales were swimming in the bay now. They had sleek gray backs, and each had a long tusk jutting from its rounded head. Narwhals, shouted Annie, real narwhals. And that takes us to chapter 3 called The Unicorns of the Sea, which that's a nickname that people have given to narwhals because it looks like their tusk is actually, like a unicorn's horn. So these interesting fact about narwhals, the tusk is actually one of a tooth. And I know that because one of my students has done, when you pick an animal to research, one year I had a student do narwhal, and I learned that fact when they were researching, and I always found it interesting. So I can't wait to see what happens. Looks like Jack and Annie maybe end up helping a narwhal. We'll have to wait and see. So tune in tomorrow for the next 2 chapters. Love you, friends. Talk to you later. Bye.